Today I have my dad as a very special guest, and the reason why I invited him is because he has a very interesting story. Yeah, Dad, thank you very much for being here today.
You're welcome.
The thing that we're gonna talk about today is a story that it happened a long time ago, late 1970s, early 1980s, and you were still a teenager, correct?
Yes, I was. It was 1 November 1978, and we were working I was working with a little company with 3 people, and we are making a roof ladder on this roof.
Right, because that was your job, right? You were as a teenager, you were learning how to do certain types of crafts, and you were kind of like an apprentice. You were working as a student, learning of how to do roofing.
Exactly. Yes, I did that. We didn't that.
Yeah.
That was our job.
Yeah. Just for our convenience, we took a picture of the typical roof that were that the place where this has happened, and this is the place, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And so this is the building that we're looking at.
Yeah, and the building was by the apartments, and that's high.
Yeah. So the lower story, that's like a shopping area.
No,
or
it was a
something like
bank.
that. It was a bank. I see. And then there's a second story, which was
I think it's the office of the bank.
okay. And then the top story, those were apartments.
Yes.
Right. So this is the ones that we see here.
And that high is nearly 10 meters.
The building is 10 meters.
No,
tall.
the about the apartments. That's 10 meters.
Right. So the full building would be around 12, 13 meters, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were coming there, and the roof about the apartments was a new roof ladder. We shall made it, and we had a wooden ladder about 2 sticks of 6 meters. So, you could track it up. And the ladder was maximal 12 meters.
Right, so it should have been long enough to cover the entire length of the building.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was an old roofy, old wooden ladder.
No, it was not old. It was not so very old. It was, but I told you the problem what is happening with the ladder. I have thought about why is the ladder broken. We are 2 weeks before. We were in another place on the roof with the wooden ladder, and we had the wooden ladder about our bus. We going back to the workplace, and. My chauffeur, I don't drive, but my neighbor is driving, and he saw the light on green and goes to yellow now to red. So he take the brake, and the ladder was not fast, and he zips about the bus.
Right, because the ladder was on top of the bus.
Yes.
And when he hit the brakes, it zipped all the way to the front.
Hij schoot over het kruispunt.
And the ladder went over the traffic crossing.
Yes.
Right. So it was disconnected from the bus at that point.
Yes. Dus we about fast out the bus, take the ladder
Quickly
up.
take it out, quickly put it on,
Yeah.
and continue like nothing
And the light
happened.
was green and we going around.
Okay.
But I thought later that is maybe the radar has a little break in it.
Right. Right. Maybe like a small fissure or a crack or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no problem. We take the ladder and we going to this building.
Yeah. Different day.
Yes.
You arrive here
Yes.
early morning. The job is the whole building needs to be. They need new roofing ladder.
No, not the whole building. Only the roof about the apartments.
The third story.
Yes.
Right. So.
We was about the ladder to the apartments. We have demontation the iron works.
Right. The railing that's over here.
Yes.
You disconnected it.
Yes. And I going to back to downstairs, and my maid going together with me to downstairs, and we take a break for a cup of coffee.
Right.
When the break is gone, my mate goes upstairs and he take some stuff with him. I don't know what it was, but I take the roll roof ladder.
Right.
On the to upstairs.
Right.
I go at upstairs, and then I was nearly upstairs. I heard a ladder breaking, and all the how fast
Your grip.
my grip was away.
Right.
I want to apologize my excuses about my English. It's not so very well, but you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you and appreciate you for being here and telling the story in English, because English is not your native language. But I really appreciate you wanting to do this. So,
all right.
I'm sure our audiences will forgive you for any non-native language skills. So back to the
story.
Back to the story. So just to be clear, because a roll of roofing ladder is not light. It's very heavy.
40 kilos.
40.
Yeah.
40.
40, yes. Today it's not. It's forbidden to take the roof ladder so heavy to make it.
Right.
It's only 25 kilos is normal.
Right, but in those days, 40 kilos.
40 kilos.
Wow, and you carried this up the ladder on your shoulder.
Yes.
That's the way that people did it
Yes.
back then, on a wooden ladder.
Yes.
Right.
I fell down and I laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And I thought by myself this wasn't necessary. And I think I go stand up.
Right.
And I stand up.
Right.
And I thought by myself, that's strange. I see a body.
Right.
It was my body.
Right.
But I didn't know it. It was my body.
Right.
That was strange.
You didn't recognize the person laying in front of you as recognizing it as your own physical being.
Exactly.
Right.
I saw the roll roofing. I saw a roofing ladder. I saw wooden sticks of the ladder, and I saw my body with a big plates of blood about my head.
Yeah, pool of blood.
Yeah, a pool of blood, and I saw my legs are crossing.
Right.
I thought by myself, that is not good with him.
Right. This is not the.
with him.
Yeah. You didn't recognize it as having yourself having an issue there.
Exactly. And I thought by myself, don't stay here anymore.
There's no reason to stay here.
Nee.
Yeah.
It was on that time. It was dark around me. It's a little time of maybe a second, maybe a half a second. It's dark, and then I am in another space, in an enormous bright light, in enormous lovingful omgeving, environment.
Yeah.
With a nice landscape with flowers. It smells very heavy, intense, and I thought, wow, this is where I belong here. I want to stay here.
You felt at home.
I felt my home. Yes, it was onbaatzuchtige liefde.
It was like an all-encompassing kind of love.
Yes. And I see, and I felt no pain. No pain was in my body. Everything was real nice. I saw near me a white person. I saw not his face, but I.
You mean white as in skin color, or you mean like?
Nee, white in laken.
Like garments, like white garments, like white robes, and.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "Hi." I said, "Hi." He said, "Nice you here." Yes, thank you, but. You must go back. Oh no, you have wrong. I am not going back. I want to stay here. Nee, you must go back. I said, you are wrong. I stay here. But
you didn't want to go back.
I don't want to go back.
You saw no reason to go back.
Exactly. Yes. He said you must go back and you must tell your story on Earth. All right. And then we came in another place in this a little bit dark, and I saw people lying on beds. They are not potent.
Sorry?
I saw beds die zweefden.
So like a bed that was hovering above the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, like a hospital bed or something.
No, it was not only a plank.
Right.
And they had a little of deken.
Blanket
about them. And I couldn't thoughts read.
You could read their thoughts.
Yes, and I read that a lot of these people are passed away with the thought I have not so good living on earth. I must gestraft. Punished. And they were waiting for the people they punished them.
Right. So they were like in a kind of purgatory in their minds.
Yes.
Like they were laying in a bed covered by a blanket, and while you could read their minds, you could understand that the world that they live in is a world full of fear of death, a fear of what happens after death.
And my guide told me, you must go back and you must your experience tell them they haven't no, don't be afraid of the death. Don't be afraid of the death.
There's no reason to be afraid of death.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I must tell them, but nou ja, I thought about it, and about what, and I'm going back to Earth. Then we came in the hospital, and I saw again my body on the operation table. I saw the chirurg,
The
surgeon, and his assistant with two people, girls, nurses, and I saw the operation table is diagonally in the operation chamber, and I saw a wand, a wall with stuff to make operations.
Right, instruments.
Yeah. And I saw on the roof a big round lamp. You can't verstelbaar.
Right, so an adjustable lamp on the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
My guide is behind me. He said to me van go in the body. I tried not to ask van is this necessary? I want in the body.
You didn't want to go back into this bloody blood.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember it going back in the body, but the operation was ready, and I was going to another place where I must wakker worden, Vancouver room.
Recover. Yeah, that's where you woke up.
Yes.
Yeah. But you don't remember anything between looking at yourself from a distance, from the operation room, to the part where you wake up.
Nee,
you remember
that I don't remember this.
Right.
I have was in the room where I wake up. There was a nurse about my bed, and I said to her van I have a nice happening.
Nice experience.
A nice experience, and I want to tell her.
Yeah.
Her face were white. She said to me van I'm looking for
psychiatric help.
Yes.
Yeah. Because basically what happens is, from her perspective,
isn't possible.
Well,
What I tell is for her perspective is it isn't possible.
Well, you gotta imagine, like, she's a nurse in this local hospital, in which big trauma event comes in. A person with a bloody head wound is being dragged in, and they're working day and night to help to get this person better, and it's all bloody, and it's all terrible.
They saved my life.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, but
and at the same time, when you wake up and you tell her, it's like, oh, miss, I've had such a beautiful experience.
Yes. And I want not going back. I want to stay in the bright light.
So what is that? Did you tell her that?
Yes. And she don't understand me.
Right. So what did you tell her?
I can't remember it.
Right. You just told her your experience. And
I thought only on this moment, I don't say never again this story. I shut my mouth off, and I don't tell this story again.
Right.
And I have it put away in my brain, deep away. that was my experience. What is happening when we have a boat and we are going on the water and we go to the island Ameland?
Yeah. When is this?
It's 2007.
Right. So many years later.
Yeah, 29 years later. And I have, by interesting book, that was a new book. Dat was this book, dat was Eindeloos Bewustzijn van Pim van Lommel. He has research.
To translate that into English, that's the title is Endless Consciousness.
Yes. This book is in German, in France, in Italian, in Chinese, in America. It's a bestseller.
Yeah, he's a well-known researcher in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I read it, and together with my wife, and my wife read the first chapter. I read and we told together the story. I read the second chapter, and she read the third chapter, and in the third chapter is another story about a woman with the same ongeveer.
A similar story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was pregnant and they became a child, and that was very heavy. And
Right. So she had a near-death experience when going into labor, with when she was having the child.
Yes, she going out of her body.
Right.
And
While giving birth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my wife told me van you write this story is about nearly your story also. I thought by myself, my story, how do you see this? And no, it's the same story you tell me always. All right, I think about it. I read an email to Pim van Lommel, and I asked him what's happening with me. Is it the same? What about another near-death experience? He write me 5 hours later back, and he said to me, "This is a classic near-death experience you have had." And but I can't a lot of things remember it told him, and he said from, but it is not gone. You must looking for what is happening, and you came to the.
So what does he mean when he says it's not gone? It's not.
The story is not gone. The believing what is
your
happening.
story.
My story is not gone. My story is there.
But right, because at this moment you were just uncovering the story that you've put away ever since you.
Exactly. Yes, I put it deep away. I have looking for a medium. I spoke to the medium, and
like a psychically gifted person.
Yes, and he said to me, we're going to a regression. You know the regression?
Yeah, regression therapy.
I have in regression, and we going to the same place and the same moment in my mind, and we are together. I felt the accident was allemaal opnieuw.
You lived through it all again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, where I was to tell the people on Earth van they haven't be afraid about death. There is no fear. There is no in the light.
So, just for people to know, is you've been asked by a person who has written a book, and this book consists out of all different kinds of stories of people who have had near-death experiences. And this book was published, and you brought it with you today.
Yes.
So
This is not in English. It's
Right.
only in Dutch.
right?
This is Het Geheim van Elysium.
Yeah, The Secret of Elysium.
And there are 35 people telling her the story about religion, of about scientists, of about experience, near-death experience, and about
Psychologically
experiences. Experience.
Yeah.
That's about 4 kinds of insight about insight about the near-death experience.
Right. So from all different angles, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
What brought me this all time? My world is changed. I came merkwaardige,
Peculiar.
peculiar experience.
Such as what?
What is happening? I need from my
A cousin?
cousin. She was 16 years ago about suicide by killed, and she came to me. She spoke to me. She told me a story from. I was an uncle from me. He was passed away, and he had a testament. And his sisters are beschreven
Yeah. So
in the testament.
right. So they were they were supposed to be getting a part, which was written in the testament.
Yes.
And this is your cousin.
Yeah, and my dad's cousin came to me and she said to me, "But I am also with it." And I told her,
In
yes,
the testament.
in the testament. And I said, "No, you are not in the testament. Only living peoples are in the testament." I know, she said to me, "I know, but I am a sister of another 2 sisters." I know, I knew that. And she couldn't about the love she want with 3 together.
So your cousin, who committed suicide at the time, came to you and gave you messages that whenever with the testament of your uncle, whenever that was written down, she said that she said that it should be acknowledged that all 3 of the sisters, they all share one source of love in which they are all connected.
Yes. One of her sisters don't believe my story.
Right. Because sorry for interrupting, but how you're saying that your cousin came to you, who committed suicide. How did she tell you? What is this?
It's a good question. I was lying in bed. I thought I was sleeping, but I wasn't sleeping. It was I was out of my body, and so can I speak with her. It was strange, but so was it.
So you were in this kind of half awake, half asleep kind of mode.
Yes.
And you recognize this person talking to you.
Yes.
And
I recognized her directly.
Right. So you recognized her as a person.
Yes.
Do you remember that she was not alive?
Yes. I know. My mother has a lot of grief about the situation, and always with the question from why she killed herself. It's a problem for her and from my mother, and my mother has a lot of grief about it.
So it's a strange experience.
Yes, it's there was it.
Yeah, yeah.
Another day, I told her sisters, "Van, this is happening tonight with me."
Yeah.
And she told me she are living, but not so fine because she has a lot of waiting for straf, punishment.
This is one of the sisters.
One of the sisters, the passed away, the sisters, waiting for punishment. The sister who killed suicide.
Ah, the one who committed suicide, she was still waiting
for punishing.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But one of the sisters don't believe my story, and I 2 nights again she came again with me.
2 nights later.
2 nights later. Yeah. And I told her, "Van, your sister don't believe me, my story. We have contact." "Oh," she said, "you must tell them something. What do you don't to weet, wat jij niet weet."
What you don't know.
What you don't know. And she zij weten het wel.
And they do know.
Yes. Okay, but what do I need to tell her? Tell them I have on my linker shoulder.
On my left shoulder.
On the back.
Yeah.
A mother flag.
Yeah, a mold.
Yes.
Yeah.
So big as een Rijksdaalder.
As the size of, yeah, what would that be? Like about this size.
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah, bigger than like this. Yeah, yeah.
A coin.
Yeah.
And all right, I tell them, but I didn't know it.
Right.
And I told her another day to her van, listen, sisters, the message is the next. I have the message from your sister is she has on her linker shoulder a big coin, around a mother flag,
a mold.
Yeah. And I don't know it. Yeah. You only you can tell me is it right, yes or no. And one of the sisters said, "No, it isn't so." But the other sister says, "Yes, I know, and I know it sells on a little film, video 8 film, and there are also pictures from her, and you can see it."
Right.
They have looking for the pictures, and there was the picture with the mole.
Right. So just to recuperate just a little bit. So at some point, while you're reading about this near-death experience, and you're in communication with all of that, all of a sudden strange things started to happen to you. So at night, in a kind of sleep wake situation in between, all of a sudden you get this experience of meeting your old dead cousin who committed suicide at the time, and she wanted you to let the other family members know that whenever you're in the testament situation, she is as much a sister in that testament, in the all-encompassing love from their father, their uncle, I think.
No, it's their uncle.
Yeah, their uncle. That that she belongs in that situation. And the moment where you come with this story, you tell the sisters, you tell this story. That's what one of the sisters like, I don't believe anything about that. That's the moment where your cousin comes back to you again, and she gives you another message, and that's where she tells you directly, I have this mold around this size on the back of my left shoulder, very specifically, and that's the message that you get to go back to the two sisters. One of them doesn't believe you, still doesn't believe you, and the other one says, wait a minute, I think that's true. I think we have it on video, we have it on Super 8 video, and we have it on pictures. And then they go check for it, and she indeed has this mold on her left shoulder.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah. And all of this comes from a person who is still in some kind of purgatory, in some kind of state of mind where she cannot continue into heaven. So maybe this is a person who is still laying on one of those planks that you see laying around. That is...
No, she is not standing on these planks. She has another situation. And the third time when she contacted me, she said to me, I want my apologize about what I am doing with you, but I hope very that is enough on this.
She was hoping that with this, the whole thing could be finished finally.
Yes. But I saw her, and I thought by myself, I saw her in a same dress of my guide, but it was a grauw, vies.
Dirty
kleid.
Dress. Yeah. Dirty robes.
And she was not in the light, and not in a bright light, but she was in a dark. I said to her, "Why are you here? Why are you in this neighbor? What is happening?" Oh, she said, I'm waiting for my punishing, and I don't can to the light.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because earlier you said when you were having this near-death experience, when you see these people laying on a plank that's hovering above
that was also a little bit of dark place.
Yeah, but these people are also waiting in their mind for some kind of punishment.
Yes, but not every people believe this in ervaren dit op dezelfde manier.
Not everybody experienced this in the same way.
Nee.
Right. So what's the difference between her and the other people?
Your mind. What is if you are a Christian, you are a Catholic, you are Muslims, have always what on earth the storytelling is. It's about the believing,
the experience.
The experience.
Yeah. In other words, you get the heaven that you chose to manufacture.
Yes, she said it's my own choice, but I said there is no place here, and you need to go to the light. No, she said, I don't go to the light. It's I must punishing. I said, come up, we go together. We're going together to look into the light, and we're looking for the light. And I have to winning her proud, her trots.
Pride, yeah.
Pride, vertrouwen.
Yeah, trust.
Her trust.
You have to win her trust.
I win her trust, and together, langzaam, she came to me, and she was behind me, and we're going together to the light. And slowly we are going together, and there is a little bit of white light, bright light, is coming to us. The bright light is coming more and more, and so we're gonna ask your father. He is there in the light, and we're gonna ask my mother. She is also to the light, and maybe there are more family, also in the light. Come you with me? And together we gave to the light, and the light was bigger and bigger and bigger. And her father take her up, en nam haar mee als een wiegende baby.
Right. So you actually met some relatives of her, amongst one of them who was her dad.
Yes.
And she entered he entered the scene, and he took her up and lifted her up as a baby and took her away.
Yes. And there go the curtains going, close it, and I saw, and I was by myself onder indruk.
Very impressed.
I'm very impressed what is happening. Yeah. It's whew, wow, that was strange.
Yeah.
And then I felt her, I saw her not anymore.
Yeah.
Bedtime.
Perhaps this is the moment where I'd like to talk about this. This is a painting.
Yes.
By Hieronymus Bos.
Yes.
He's a famous Dutch painter from the Renaissance, 1500s, late Renaissance. Very interesting painter. He was commissioned by the Catholic Church at that time to paint a lot of different paintings.
That's right.
And this is a particular one that inspires you. I know that this is hanging in your home as well, and it has some kind of like a particular kind of meaning.
Yes, there are other pictures from Hieronymus Bos. They have also about to the world around us, another world. You can interesting in Hieronymus Bos, and there is a lot of about stories what they from the people has in his mind is painting.
Yeah.
And they a lot of experts thinking about. He must also have a near-death experience.
Is that confirmed? So a lot of people think this that Hieronymus Bos might have had
Yes.
a near-death experience, but is there any type of a certain kind of researcher who claims this? Or?
No, this picture is
reminiscent
research.
of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The picture is you would there under is.
I think this is all we have.
Oh.
Yeah, it's but yeah, it's a larger picture, and there's more underneath as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
I have contacted people from strange people, and I can tell them some story about like a medium, what's happening with him.
So you have like clairvoyant experiences.
Yes.
So experiences that are not usual for a typical person to have, but for you they flow into your life and go
Yes.
out of your life again.
Yes, and it's a kind of a normal for me.
And of course, it's no Paradigm Shift episode without the sponsor that we have. It's our main sponsor. It's druidsecret.com. for the best CBD oil that is there on the market, please go to druidsecret.com and go have a look at their products. There are lots of different products. They have the HHC oil, they have the HHC gummies, as you can see here. They have a whole range of CBD oils and different percentages, and lots of other products as well, such as mushrooms, which are good for you, like lion's mane and all of that. They even have the blue lotus, Egyptian blue lotus, very interesting herb. Please go over, visit druidsecret.com, put in a code paradigm shift, and you know what? I've recently heard, so this episode is very familiar to me. This is very personal. This is an episode with my dad. But I also heard that recently my grandfather, who is already has passed the age of 80. At this moment, he is also he's taking CBD oil. So lots of interesting effects where you can take the CBD oil for. There's CBD oil for people who have rheumatic arthritis. There's people who have problems sleeping. For women who have every monthly they have the menstrual cramps. Any other issues that you can think of. I almost feel like the snake oil salesman, but there's a whole range of issues that CBD oil is very, very helpful for. So if you're interested, you need anything like that, please go over to druidsecret.com. And with that being said, let's continue the episode.
Can you tell a story about 8th January 2020? There was an airplane in Iran and is flying to Ukraine. Ukraine.
Yeah. So Iran shoots the Ukrainian airplane.
Yes.
Out of the sky.
Yeah.
And it hits, and it crashes.
Yes. Het was about 50 seconds na opstijgen.
After 50 seconds after launch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you must tell me you must imagination what's happening with the people in the airplane. They don't understand nothing, and in one time they're all gone. I was laying in my bed. I was gaming about this accident, and I need to 2 or 3 people to helping them to right the way to the weg wijzen.
You show them the way.
Show them the way to the light. And I moest me om hen bekommeren.
Yeah, you had to take care of them.
Yes. And I wasn't alone. There were more. I saw more people around me with this helping. A lot of people helping these people.
These were also people that were asleep at that moment, or
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I saw them.
Because you were in your bed.
Yes.
Half,
yes.
Yeah, and the other half was in an airplane somewhere.
But I don't remember it. The next morning, I was listening to the radio, and I heard a story what's happening in Iran, and I think to myself, but I was there tonight. I was there to helping these people. I saw a lot of fire. This airplane has a lot of fuel inside of it. It's for
just lift it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but I saw also a lot of bright light. Again, bright light. What I see by my own near-death experience.
So you're saying there was the same type of light that I experienced in my near-death experience.
Yes.
Which is a light that signifies the crossover between this world and the next.
Yes.
Right. So that kind of implies that there's in your experience, there's a significant boundary between worlds, and it's signified by this type of light.
Yes. This type of light is always there, but we can see it. It's only the moment when we're going passed away. Then we came all in this type of light. What's happening is it's change. You need to know what's happening is we are human. The human is the soul, and it got a body. You understand it?
Yeah. So human is half soul, half body. Am I
No.
translating that correct?
No, human is the soul is human, and it has a body.
Yeah. So I've heard it been explained before is that we're not humans having a spiritual experience.
No.
We're
We are
spiritual beings who have a human experience.
And we have a body. The body is to learn it on earth, and the human stays always, but own body.
So who you are, or who do you think that you are, the ideas that you have, the way that you express yourself, the way that you show yourself to other people, all of that is that's your whole personality. What you're saying is that is everlasting, and that will continue from this world into the next one.
Always. You came on this world. Your reincarnation in the body, your elders, your father and mother make a kunstje, and
they do a trick,
and you became around on this world. The body came on earth, and when it's passed away, it stay on earth, and the soul is going back. And it goes back to the ghost, the geest,
the spirit.
The spirit.
Right. So in that logic, I'm completely with you. I'm just trying to understand the way that you understand it. So that means that because we're talking about reincarnation now, because once you say that there's a way that we leave this world, that would mean that there's a way that you enter into this world, and then we're talking about reincarnation, in as you've put it, and so that would mean that before you were this person in this life, you were a different personality with different habits, with different ideas, with different things.
Yes.
Where is that all now?
It's in the Akasha.
So you left your personality, the way that we think of ourselves, and the way that we die, because you told me about how your cousin, how you met your cousin, and she definitely was still a personality. She still, even when you met her father, who was already in heaven, as you would say it.
Also my mother.
Right. They're still the personalities that they were when they were on Earth.
Yes.
And so at what point do you leave that personality behind before you reincarnate?
That's the moment when you are ready. You have on Earth a lot of things to learn it. and you are ready and passed away, and you're coming in. Your personality is also in the light, in the source, and you're going. You have an evaluatie.
Mm.
You are going about learn it what you have on earth to look at from. Is it what I want to learn it, and also I'm ready.
Mm.
Then you lost your personality and you're going away again.
So once you say that you processed all the information that you've gathered here on Earth in that specific life, that's the moment where you would be ready to enter a new life. That's what you're saying.
Yes, and when you're coming again on this earth, you the embryo, there comes the soul in, but he don't know everything about what is the soul going about
The fleece of forgetfulness.
Yes. Why? You as human isn't necessary to know what in voorgaande leven,
Previous life.
previous life is happening. Maybe you have killing someone. Maybe you have a lot of problems. You have to clean it up.
But there's also there's a lot of cases. There's some significant cases even of children remembering who they were before they got here. So I think that there's this case of a child being able to remember being a famous director from Hollywood. They went through the pictures and say, "Yeah, Mom, that's me."
Yes.
I think there's this famous Egyptian researcher who when she went to Egypt, she immediately felt like, yes, I'm at home here. This is where I belong. These are my people. And from there on, she became an Egyptologist, a quite famous one as well. So there are stories that would corroborate this view. And so my question to you is, because I'm very thankful that you're willing to lay this all on the table, so other people might take note of these experiences. But I'm wondering, all of the people that perhaps are in this book, or other people that you know, because I know that at this moment you're also a member of well, let's say a group of people who are who've all had near-death experiences. Would they share the same belief system that as you're laying it out here? Is it the same story that they would tell as you're telling it right now?
A lot of people, they want to tell it, but a lot of people has problems with it. People around us has a lot of need to explain why they have experience. They cannot prove it. A lot of people don't believe us. They say it's oxygen zuurstoftekort.
Yeah, lack of oxygen.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why you get this epic phenomenon, in which you experience some side effects from having a shortage of oxygen, which would give you hallucinogenic properties.
But that isn't also all bewezen.
It's already proven.
Prove it. That isn't the case.
What kind of proof? How could you prove that?
You need to ask Pim van Lommel.
Okay, well, perhaps if this is a subject that our viewers really like, perhaps we could invite Pim van Lommel at some point.
Yes.
So it's already proven.
He has a lot of research also make it. He is 81 years old and a lot of experience
Yeah.
about this case. But ook another, like Raymond Moody, has a lot of research about this, and William Peters. There are also scientists they looking for the proof it.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you from when we was born, we're going to the Vlies der Vergetelheid. There's by a
The Fleece of Forgetfulness.
yes, there are a lot of babies have this problem, but they don't in the first 4 years remember it. But they have the feelings about it. What is happening with me? Why I am have contact with deaf people? Why have a lot of children when they get older have no contact with another side?
Right. So what you're saying is babies are basically clairvoyant when they're still after they just
90%.
How do we know that?
Research, a lot of research.
How do we know if a baby is clairvoyant?
You can see it when you speak with it. You can hear it when you speak with it. Try it, and you shall see.
What I'm wondering is if there's a baby who is communicating with a dead relative that is in the room, how would you recognize that?
You can recognize it when you have a baby on your arm and the baby looks around you and is laughing about what is passed after you.
Yeah.
They look and they're laughing and they you can blink. You can see the blinking in his eyes, of in her eyes.
So this is where we're getting at the part where it's very difficult for a lot of people to accept a subjective reality, because at one point we're talking about the medical reality, which is where you have this person who gets like hit on the head, who is like, and the doctors they're doing the best to save the life and all of that, and that's a very physical, very measurable, very real reality, and at the same time there's this other reality which is very subjective, which is the experiences of a person, which comes with it, which a big group of people are at the same time are dismissing, because they're saying, well, that's just subjective. That is not something that we can actually prove. I can imagine that there's people who say like, okay, you're saying that you can prove that the child is communicating with a dead relative.
I can't prove.
No, but exactly. So that's where my question comes from, is when you stack up multiple experiences of multiple people who have had, even in some cases, multiple near-death experiences, because I know that people who have had multiple near-death experiences. At what point can these experiences all corroborate to one worldview of what would constitute the afterlife?
More experience, more research.
Right.
There are a lot of people about looking for it. and we need to research to find the contact with people that has the same experience.
Right. Which is difficult as well because, as you said, like a lot of near-death experiences might be latent, might be might not be in the in people's. I mean, they might have had like you have had an experience that was suppressed for many years, and then is dormant. It's a dormant experience that people push away because it's not helping them in daily life.
No, but there are changing. There are a lot of changing about this.
How so?
I have a contact with a man. He has 2 years ago a heart attack. He need to operation on his heart and a new aderen.
New veins.
Yes.
Yeah.
En omleidingen.
Yeah. Redirection of veins.
He saw his body on the operation table. He told about the nurse's his story. The nurse says van, oh, I heard about this experience. I heard about, I know it. I have no kennis, no knowledge about this, but I know something has knowledge about it, and I bring them in contact with you. And he can. He says to us, his name is Harold Harbers. He says to us, van, I want to help the people in the hospital, the medical people, to learn, to recognize what is happening with the people with a near-death experience. I want to help them. I want people, nurses and doctors to tell them, look about this, look about that, hear about what's it tolling, what is happening with the near-death experience. That's important, and the world is changing about this. There are a lot of more people recognize the near-death experience.
Yeah, because our Western medical field is mostly based on a deductionistic worldview in which we can say, well, the body is a biochemical machine which works in this way and that way.
Yes.
And when we apply this, then that happens, and that's kind of the way that our Western medical world is based upon. And when you have a doctor which has this let's say atheistic kind of frame of mind, or say like, well, there's nothing that we can prove beyond the afterlife, so it's I just disregard it and take it all the way out of my field of work. That's where people who have these experiences, who wake up with these experiences, that's when these people have trouble, because there's no way for them to at least get their story, their experience, to put that on the table, and for it to be validated as that experience is. So what you're saying is that the world is changing. This is perhaps a little bit of a paradigm shift that's taking place, in which people are getting to an understanding that even though we might not have proof of what is there in the afterlife, or we might not understand what might come after what we can measure, there still might be validation into receiving these stories, collecting these stories, understanding these stories, and at least not shoot them down, as they say, by saying it's an epiphenomenon of the brain.
Yes, it's not in the brain. It's about het bewustzijn.
The consciousness.
Yeah.
Consciousness is not in the brain.
No, it's around us, and it's connected with the brain and with the heart.
Yeah.
With the brain is when you can talk it with about with the consciousness, and with the heart when it's the contact is broken, then you're going to die. There are people without brains, only with water in the head. He can normal function has an IQ from 123. The brain is the interface of the consciousness.
Yeah, I've heard it being described as the connection with the brain and consciousness is similar as towards the TV remote and the TV station. If the remote is broken, it doesn't mean that the TV is broken.
Yes.
So it's like, it's almost like there's a transmission there.
Yes, always. Yes, it's a difficult question, and you cannot prove it on this time. But we can a lot of learning about this of the people in the East, Indian and Chinese people have a lot of knowledge about this this stuff. They learn it on school. The children learn it at school. I have spoken with a Swami, it's her name. He's told me, my mother told your story and I don't understand it, but you told me your story and you haven't learned it. It's your own experience.
So his mother always told him stories like this,
yes,
in which these kind of phenomena are present.
Yes, he believes it, but not heeft het niet ervaren.
He never had any real life experience with it himself.
Exactly.
But the moment where he met you, that's where he said, like, I can corroborate that story. I can connect that back into my cultural beliefs.
Exactly.
Yeah. The issue that I often have with some of the traditions from the East is that it all comes from spiritual beliefs. It all comes from years and years and years and years of stories stacking up of spiritual experiences, and everything being piled on together. So even though this might be a little, it might be part of validation for people who have experiences such as yourself, it doesn't really give us any type of way that we can continue into this field on a scientific basis. It's just a spiritual validation. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's the moment where people have certain kind of experiences, and they cannot place it. They cannot say like, oh, this resembles this kind of story or that kind of story, which you had with this book. When reading this book, you recognize like, oh, but, or in this case, even someone else recognized like, oh, that's your story.
Yes.
I think that's very good. It's very good that we create this kind of culture where we do not demonize these kind of experiences, and in which the Eastern views are very helpful. But at the same time, I think that once we want to understand this more scientifically, once we we want to understand more, like, well, what is going on at the moment of death? What is going on when people leave this realm? I mean, you can see it when you have a person going from a state of being alive to a state of being dead. It's like something leaves them. It's like it's like the essence of that person is leaving them. And I believe there's even something like 21 grams of weight that is going missing at the moment of death.
Yes.
So there is very much something interesting that is going on at that moment. But I think we have to, at some point, we have to create a bridge between the spiritual and the scientific.
Exactly. We have the bridge and we need it. My experience, I cannot prove it.
Right.
But it's real. It is not my belief. It is my knowledge. My knowledge. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
It's not belief. It is not a religion. It is not a sect. It's
not a religion or a cult or something.
No.
It's just it's a whole bunch of individuals who have had a similar experiences, who say this is what happens after, or this is what happened to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's nog some specific thing I need to tell you.
Something else you want to say?
Yeah, we are all one. We are all together one. And we came together again. There is no time, there is no space. All is in the place of this time. Understand me?
I understand what you're trying to say, but my question to you is, what makes you say this? What's the?
It's important to tell where this come from. The issue about the light and the source is very, very bigger than we can imagination it. Dan we het ons kunnen voorstellen.
Than we can imagine, yeah.
Yes, it is. We know about this, all of this, maybe 1%. There are the other 99% we can understand. Only people with a near-death experience or mediums,
psychics,
psychics can see a little bit of more of it. But it is bigger than we can ons kunnen voorstellen.
We can imagine, yeah.
Yes. That's maybe the problem to telling my story about people they have not connect with it.
Well, I don't necessarily think that it's a problem. It's just that I think that well, we live in a world where so much more information is coming out, and
Exactly.
And so many ideas rule this earth at this moment. So many views are coming out, and who's to say which ones of these are valid? And I think it's important that we don't dismiss certain kind of views. And I mean, it's difficult for me to have the same experience as you have. I will have my own experiences, and I understand from my own experiences that it might be very well possible that that there might be a veil that is almost like a curtain that is between this world and the next world, and that at some places you can open up the curtain and you can peek behind a little bit of what might be next. but we have no idea how many curtains there are. We have no idea how many places there are, of what we can find beyond. So I often think it's difficult to kind of understand what it is that we're talking about. And when people want to see their own beliefs validated, when people say like, oh yeah, this is definitely true because I have had this experience and that is true, and therefore all of the other experiences that validate this must be true as well, I think that's where we get into a dangerous kind of fluid territory in which many things can become true, while we might lose touch with the thing that connected us in the first place. And so that's why I'm asking you as well, is because I know you're a member of society for people who have had near-death experiences. Every once in a while, you have a meetup.
2 times a year.
2 times a year, you have a meetup with people from the Netherlands and from Belgium.
Yes, and we are connected with IANS. This is the American Association of Near-Death Experience.
Right. So it's a local get-together, but it's also an international connection with.
It's also in German. Nach Dood Erfahrungen is also in France and Italy also, but we had no contact with them.
Maybe I'm asking for something that doesn't exist, but my curiosity leads me to investigate a little bit more. What is the sum of all of these experiences? What is it? What kind of picture does it paint? Do all of the people who have had near-death experiences, would they confirm your story, what you're telling here right now? Would all people say like, yes, the way that Douwe is saying it right now, that's the way that it is?
No, there are a lot of possibles are you have a near-death experience. One of them is by meditation. You can be meditation also a near-death experience became, or you can a deep trauma when you have thinking about you are right in a wrong place. You follow me? Mm-hmm. It's also becoming a near-death experience. And they are always a kind of connection with it, but it's never the same.
Some things might be the same, but what kind of things differ?
35% of the near-death experience has a tunnel. Mm-hmm. I have no tunnel experience.
Right.
In the East, we are spoken a while back, they have a river. No tunnel. Everything has another, and as maybe has as what is the religion where are you have the opgegroeid.
Yeah, the background in which you grew up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're almost not talking about something that is tangible, something that is physical, but almost something that is metaphorical, that is archetypical.
Yes. Yes. Archetypical it's important in this. Are you a Christian in a Catholic church? It's another experience than a Muslim near-death experience. There is the connection is, and I think so. I am Catholic opgevoed.
You were raised Catholic. Yeah.
Yes, But when you with no religion, then maybe something else you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have many Muslims who have had near
No,
death
we have not in we love them, but they are not there.
They're welcome, but
And Jewish
what do you think
people,
that is? No Jewish people?
no Jewish people.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can't understand it. Maybe it's they are not klaar voor.
Maybe they're not ready.
They are not ready about this. This this book is written about. He have 5 years. It's about 2000. We are a very young organization.
Right. And how many members does this organization have?
250.
Right. All people who have had near-death experience.
Yeah, and normally Pim van Lommel says 5% of the bevolking
Of the population.
becomes a near-death experience. In America, they're further with this research.
5% is a lot.
Yes.
5%, that's more than how many people are gay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure.
We have a gay near-death experience.
I would think so. Yeah. Yeah, it's well, that's good to know that sexual preference doesn't.
No. Woman and man is no problem.
Right.
It's, when I go to a spiritual evening about there are with the speaker no near-death experience. There are 80 or 90% are girls, women. When I go to a near-death experience together come, there are 50-50.
Really?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's usual for us to understand that usually women are more intuitively inclined. They have more, they have like a more sensitive kind of attitude often towards the spiritual. Men are usually more rational. I mean,
Men are usual are rational, yes.
It mostly has to do with temperament, but it's interesting that when you look statistically at the group of people who have had near-death experience, you would come at a 50-50 percentage of that same grouping. That's very interesting. That would almost. That would almost, to me, sound like something that would count as a statistical constant. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but to me that sounds very, very valid. So next Saturday there's an event. Which regular people can attend as well. They have to pay a little bit of an entrance fee, but with that they're also stimulating this kind of research and grouping of people who can get her. And there's I hear there's the Belgian chairman of the Belgian group called Lehman. He gives a talk about near-death experiences. Connecting to quantum,
yes,
and that would be quantum physics.
Yes,
right.
There is nog another speaker, one with Harold Harbers, with a very positive near-death experience.
Okay.
He trying to open it for medical people, doctors. scientist, wuif het niet weg.
Yeah. Don't put it under the carpet.
Nee.
Be curious.
Be curious. Yes, be curious.
And this is what people can attend is if they want for their own research, but also if they have any near-death experiences as well, where would they go? What place would they go to find people with similar experiences?
Beeldhoven, Huizen, het Oosten. It's someone about the vrijmetselarij.
Freemasons.
Yes, it's een rusthuis voor vrijmetselarij.
Right. And this is next Saturday.
Yes.
But imagine if people won't be able to make it, where else would they go? Where else would they find people who have had similar experiences or find a connection with other people?
On the website netwerknde.nl.
Is there on the website? Is there a link as well to international groups that they can? Thank you very much for coming to the studio. Thank you. Thanks for
You're welcome.
for being here, for telling your story as you were given as an assignment to tell the story. Today you told the story, so I'm very thankful for you being here today. And with that, I'll end the show here. So if you enjoyed this interview, if you picked something up, something interesting that you haven't heard before, something that expanded your mind a little bit, please make sure to share this episode. Share it on every platform that you're at. Share it on Facebook. Share it on X. Share it on Instagram. Wherever you're at, send it to your friends that you think they should listen to this. Also, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed yet, click that subscribe button. Please give us a thumbs up or a like, or write something down in the comments. The comments always helps us out with the algorithm. And if you aren't aware yet, please visit our sponsor, cbdorganica.com or druidsecret.com. Both very, very good products, and I support those products a lot. So yeah, go over there, send them some love, use the code Paradigm Shift, and with that, we'll see you next week.